to my channel. I have been a little bit MIA recently. I went away to China, which is the point of this video. I came back, I was ill, I went away again and I came back, and then everything kicked off with this virus. So everything in this video was previous to the virus, but I never went to Wuhan and I left early January, so I did just miss it, thankfully, even though I was ill when I came back, but that was due to air quality. Hopefully, I think no one got ill around me, so I'm assuming that was it. I very nearly didn't post this video because of everything that happened. I didn't know whether to. I didn't want to start parading around how much fun I had while I was there and how great it was when the whole course of this virus started there. So I've kind of realised that yes, that happened, but I did have an amazing time. Everything is going to be different now everywhere in the world. So this is just a nice little snippet into what China was like while I was there, what it was like before the virus kicked off and went crazy. And the next few clips, like I mentioned, are before the virus. This was over Christmas, New Year and the beginning of January. So while I was in China, I went to Shanghai, Beijing, Haerbin and Xi'an, and then we went back to Shanghai and flew home. Absolutely incredible. It was everything I thought it would be. Apart from the air quality, I didn't realise it'd be as bad as it was, but I did wear a mask, hence why in the clips there's not many of me, of my face talking, just because there was no point. You couldn't hear anything because of the mask that was on my face. So I'm doing all of that part now. Hopefully it still works out okay. And yeah, anyone that does go, wear a mask, check the air quality every single day. We checked it 3-4 times a day when we were going out, different times of day, just because it changes so quickly. In the morning sometimes it was perfectly fine, and then later on in the day it'd be really bad, it'd be red, and then it'd say hazardous, which Haerbin was actually classed as hazardous. It was purple on the scale, and that is not a level of quality you want to breathe in. I think it was about 300 when we went, and obviously I'm from the UK, so here I believe it's normally between 20 and 25 in terms of air quality, and there it was 300. I don't understand how a country that size and has that much technology has such bad air quality. I don't know how that's not been fixed yet. Even so, wear a mask, it's worth it, it'll make you feel better, trust me. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Did spot the maglev, and it's something that you want to do. You want to go like 400 kilometers an hour. It's insane. It got there really quickly as well, but that took about an hour off our journey, which, you know, it's a no-brainer. Get on one thing, straight there. And if you do go straight from the airport as well, if you show your boarding pass, you do get a discount. So I think they took about 50 yuan off. For the life of me now, I can't remember the exchange rate difference, but it does make a difference, especially if you're already looking at getting it. Show your boarding pass, you will get a discount. So there was a huge Starbucks when we were in Shanghai, and it was where they do all of their roasting. They do it all in-house, which I think was absolutely incredible. The smell of coffee literally soothes my soul. I love it so much. I'd love my own coffee shop. But going in, when you can see them roasting the beans, and it's an experience in itself just going to one of those Starbucks. They had everything from t-shirts, they had bread sold in there, cakes, obviously coffee. The downside, it does work out quite expensive, even for Starbucks. We went a couple of times while we were there and just had coffee and cake like we do back at home, but it definitely worked out a whole lot more expensive. It's worth it going while you're there, have the experience, it's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shanghai Tower. 现在您所搭乘的电梯是目前世界上最快的超高速电梯。Now we are taking the world's fastest high-speed elevator. 电梯最快速度可达每秒18米。Fastest speed is 18 meters per second. 仅55秒便可到达上海之巅观光厅。In only 55 seconds, we will reach Observatory of Shanghai Tower. 118层到了，祝您参观愉快。We have arrived at 118th floor. Wish you a pleasant tour.
The visual was just non-existent. It was just white everywhere. The clouds had just taken over the whole building pretty much. But we waited while we were up there. We thought, we'll wait, see what happens, and eventually it did clear. It would clear in chunks of about 5-10 minutes, full of clouds again, and then it'd clear again. It was kind of cool to do, being that high up and being able to see that far. If you get there on a really clear day, you'd be able to see some incredible things. I do not think Disney needs an introduction. It does not need an explanation. Anybody in the world can love Disney. I love Disney. It was something that I had to do while we were there. It's only been open a couple of years in Shanghai and it's incredible. It really is. The only downside is everything is in Chinese. Some of the rides you'll see as well, like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was my favourite. I went on it 3 times, 4 times, 3 or 4 times. It was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. There was a section where you actually go into the water and I need to go back on it. I need to go back just to go on that ride. You literally feel like you're there. There's a whole screen right in front of you and you feel like you're under the water. It's unreal. It's amazing. And the fact that you're in a boat on water helps that. But yeah, you'll hear them talk about Jack Sparrow and they'll say a bunch of phrases. I don't know what they actually say. The only part I did understand was Jack Sparrow.
所以你才想当海盗，像我 Jack Sparrow。 哦，我真是太了不起了！啊哈，来的正好，我忠诚的船员们。
Welcome
真帅啊！想要我的宝藏，就得和我决一死战。
I haven't been to Disney since I was a kid, and I was super excited. I could not wait for the fireworks. But in China, the amount of people everywhere is insane. At Disney, times by 100, like, it's nuts. But it started raining, so I was stood there with my hood up, all fine, waiting, still excited. I don't care about a bit of rain, it's water or whatever. And then someone came and stood right in front of me with an umbrella, so I couldn't see anything. So I moved. Another person, umbrella everywhere. Everyone had umbrellas up, so you could not see a thing. We ended up leaving early, getting drenched to not see anything. I was gutted, I'm not gonna lie. Eventually I want to go to the one in Florida and be there for a few days if I can, and hopefully see the fireworks every night. I'll make up for it, I'm sure. So eventually, when all this is blown over and not everything is nuts anymore and you can fly and leave the country and in fact leave your house, I plan to do that. Trying to film walking up steep hills is next to impossible. I did a little bit on my phone walking up the stairs, and I did tilt it to the side so you can see how steep they were. And then at the top I did a bit of filming down, but you were literally like this. This is unreal. You practice it on your hands and knees trying to get up some of the areas. But it was amazing. The views were incredible. We went on a perfect day as well. The sky was clear. We decided to do an overnight train because the train journey is, I believe it was 8 hours on the train to get to Haerbin from Beijing, and we thought, do it overnight, we can get there first thing in the morning, spend all day there, and then come home the next night. So we spent the entire day. We got up really early, it was still really dark outside, and the inside of our glass was frozen. It was ice. I've never seen that before. I've never seen it be ice on the inside of a window. Outside, yes. Inside, never seen that. But it just proved how cold it was there. I think it was like minus 20 something while we were there. I think minus 24 or something like that. So the Snow and Ice Festival is why we went to Haerbin. It was amazing. The lights, I don't know how they build that. It's insane. They had huge slides, castles. The downside is being short, you can't actually see over the wall in the castle, so if you want that cool photo from below that you're a princess in the castle, you won't get it unless you've got some brick underneath your foot. I was too short, you could literally barely see me. One thing I would probably recommend is getting heat warming packs, because at one point my hands literally went so numb that they hurt. I don't know if anybody's ever had that where you're that cold, you just have pain in your hands. I bought some, I don't know if I've even got them around anymore, some hand warming packs. I'll link them below just in case anybody wants to have a look at them. They took a few minutes to warm up, but when they did, they were literally a lifesaver. So you can get a pack of about 8 or 10 or something like that. One in each shoe, keep your toes warm, one in each glove, keep your hands warm, and you'll be fine. A side note for all the women who decide to go to any cold place, I guess, not just China, it's just where I learnt this issue. I say any cold place, any place that you might need a mask. So everywhere we went, we had masks on. And as you wear the mask, you literally have it to like here. But naturally, most masks don't fit around everybody's nose, so I had a little gap either side, just yeah, literally here and here. So the warmth of my breath came out through these little gaps, wet my eyelashes because of the cold and they were already icy, turned them into some weird looking scarecrow, spider leg horrendousness. Yeah. Wear waterproof mascara. At one point I literally had to take off icicles because they got wet and turned to icicles on my eyelashes. I had to piggle those off. Never done that in my life. When we went to Xi'an, we actually went to the Muslim Quarter. The Muslim Quarter is kind of the food road, I guess. It is huge. There is so many stalls everywhere, so many people, but there is some really cool food places. So walking around, I've actually seen on a video a long time ago, there were kind of these like, I don't even know what to call them. They're like some sugar ball things, I don't really know, and they make your breath really cold, so you blow out, kind of looks like smoke, but it's not, it's just really cold air. Kind of hurts your teeth if you've got sensitive teeth like me, really hurts. They reminded me of rainbow drops. I don't know if anyone's had those, but they're like the crispy, airy, sugary goodness. It's like a giant version of those. So we actually went to the bell tower, and the performance that we managed to catch while we were there was absolutely incredible. We got there at the perfect time. There was, I think, about 6 or 7 people with all different instruments playing a bunch of songs, and that's actually the main background music for this entire video. I wanted to display their work as well because, yeah, it was amazing, and they were doing that every half an hour or so throughout the entire day pretty much. They were really, really talented, and I have no idea how people can play instruments because I tried once, didn't work, didn't try again because I just, hand-eye coordination's, I guess, not really my thing. So, a few little extra tips when you go to China. I guess there were things I some things I knew of before we went and some things I learned while I was there. But a VPN, vital in China, because any kind of Google based product or even Google based phone, because I have an Android and half the time it didn't work, you will need a VPN. And I'd recommend to have a few. Don't just go for one, have 2, 3, 4, have backups, because one might not work, or it will work for one day and then it won't work for the next because, I don't know, it just blocked them sometimes. We had an absolute nightmare. I could connect to the VPN when on Wi-Fi, my partner couldn't. He could only connect to the VPN when using data, so that became an issue because we also had SIM cards, because our phone contract would have cost us a silly amount to be able to use that while we were there. So we got SIM cards and we used the CM Link SIM cards, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to recommend them because mine didn't work at all. And I mean not at all. I set it up back at home in the UK, topped it up, transferred it over into data, worked fine. The moment I landed in China, it didn't work at all. I had no data, no signal. I couldn't even use my phone. So for somebody who posts on Instagram a lot, who posts on Facebook, who wants to video chat with friends and family to show them stuff, I couldn't. So luckily my partners did work, using one phone to try and get around, try and use apps to use the metro, to find out where we were going. It became quite difficult. So make sure you either have a backup SIM or you're just very, very confident with the SIM that you do have. The other problem is, because I didn't have data, I then couldn't connect to any coffee shop Wi-Fi, any shopping centre Wi-Fi, because they would send you a code to your phone that you had to verify your phone. I didn't have any data, so couldn't connect. So basically for 2 weeks I barely had my phone. The only thing I was using it for was really photos or videos or the occasional Wi-Fi call when I was in the hotel, and that's if my VPN worked, which half the time it didn't. So again, have a good VPN, have a few VPNs, have backups. The roads in China are confusing. Nobody indicates, lanes don't seem to be a thing. Everyone beeps for no, well, I say for no reason. They're beeping because people are just literally wherever they want. Yeah, crazy. But not only that, if you're a pedestrian and you click the little button and you're waiting for the man to go green, don't assume you can walk and not get hit. There was multiple times when the green man came up, you're about to go, but then the light goes green on the left for cars to turn right, so then you're kind of stuck, because you either go and make them stop, or you wait and then can never actually go, because then the lights go back to green and everyone goes, and then when the green man comes up they can go right again. In the UK, green man comes on, you go, no issues, unless someone's a moron, but you go and it's fine. You know the car's going to have to stop in every direction. Not in China. They'll still come from the left, that they can turn right. Yeah, not much you can do about it. Bikes as well, motorbikes, craziness. They will drive where they want to. Yeah, a lot of them are super quiet as well. It's like they've added a battery onto it so you don't actually hear an engine. So a lot of the time you won't even hear the bike or see any lights because they don't put them on. Everywhere we went as well, your bags would be searched. So every time you got on the metro, every time you went on a train, anytime you went into any form of monument, your bags would be searched. You'd get put through a scanner like at an airport. Gets annoying after a bit. It gets really annoying, especially when you're travelling from place to place. You've got a big rucksack on, got to take everything off. It's a nightmare. It's something you do get used to. The metro system is pretty much everywhere. Shanghai, Beijing have massive metros. Xi'an have a metro. It's not huge, but they do have one. Haerbin, don't bother. We were trying to find a metro for ages. It said online that they had one. We were trying to find it. It wasn't there. Turns out you just got to get cars and taxis and Ubers, I guess, while you're there, because a metro system in Haerbin is just non-existent. I actually ripped my coat trying to find that, and I was gutted because I had duck feathers flying everywhere of this winter coat that I spent a load of money on to keep me warm in the coldest place that I was going to be in the entire time there. With food, don't assume they're going to have an English menu. Most places didn't. We actually used Google Translate when we could to kind of get a rough estimate and idea. Some people spoke English, which means you can obviously ask those if they do, but then many don't. In Shanghai there was loads and loads of places that had English menus, but other places, when we went to Xi'an for example, didn't. Haerbin again didn't. Be prepared to not have an English option. Work around it. Ask what's recommended. Some places will automatically show you what is recommended, or they'll show you what sells most, or they'll be able to roughly tell you what the meat is or anything like that. So yeah, just don't assume. We did also visit the fake markets. You kind of have to when you're in China, right? Just to experience it, which is exactly that. It is an experience. It is aggressive. For a start, it's aggressive. There was one section, obviously you had to have a look. You walk down, in anything to do with handbags, they are at the doors and they are shouting brands at you, just constantly like shouting at you. And these aisles are no bigger than like, yeah, 2 people side by side could fit, but they're not overly large aisles. And when I first got there, I hated it. I was like, oh my god, no, I don't like it, it's too much, people are too aggressive, they're in my personal space, I don't like it. And then we went back, kind of thought it was funny, and then you just make a bit of a game out of it. Don't take it too seriously, because when you do that, then it's not fun. One thing I will say is I binged watched pretty much every one of Colin Broadcast's videos. Like, constantly binged watched them. I watched some of them more than once, because that shows you 100% what it is like. Honestly, I watched the videos and I was thinking, right, I want to try and remember like rough pricing, like what you can get it for. And when you go, the price they start at is just like basically the actual price of the real product. So you've got to kind of laugh it off and be a bit like, come on, it's not even real, like, you know, it's the fake one. And they're like, yeah, but it's the same quality, but it's not the real one. So bear in mind, but be realistic with it. They know they're overcharging because some people will pay it, because they just will. But most people will barter with them. You've got to think realistically. Like, what I kept thinking is, what would I pay for something at home that I liked? So if, regardless of the brand, ignore the brand, take that out of your head, because that technically is irrelevant. If you're going to buy something, you're going to buy like a handbag or a wallet or whatever, and you would pay a certain amount for that at home if it wasn't a branded piece, it's basically the same as that, just there. So you can do it a little bit cheaper because you can get it cost price or closer to cost price. So ignore the brand. The brand's irrelevant. Don't include that into it. So when they're telling you it's Gucci or Prada or whatever, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's the item itself. People say, is it about a quarter or something like that, or a third you offer them? It's about right, to be honest. It's good to know the rough exchange rate as well, because without knowing your exchange rate, it makes it really difficult to be able to estimate how much that works out at. And you can actually type it into your phone as well. They won't say any numbers out loud. It's all calculator based, because they don't want other customers to hear. Understandable, because if you're getting a really good deal, they want the same deal. Take it with a pinch of salt, enjoy it a little bit, but definitely watch Colin's videos, because they are literally what it is like there. And I'll link his channel down below. Anyone watching this though will probably know who he is, because you're already researching China. So yeah, watch his videos. They're so entertaining, they're absolutely brilliant. But it does give you an insight to how much they charge when it's not worth that at all. The last thing I am going to say before this video is done is, any Western person in China will get stared at. You will get stared at like you are a monkey in a zoo. I don't know if it's because one of the women was staring at my hair like she'd never seen curly hair in her life. It's not intended to be rude, and I know that. But when you're stood there and you can just feel someone like this at you, it gets a little bit like, okay, what are you staring at? Why are you staring at me? First few days I was a bit like, why are they still staring at me? Like, they're not just looking and then look away. It's the entire time you're stood there, they're staring at you the entire time. And I don't know if it's like a... if anyone else actually knows why this is, I don't really get it personally. Yeah, I don't know. I had a few school kids like pointing as well, and like, yeah, it's a bit weird. I think it's just not overly common, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You will get stared at a lot though. You will get spoke about. People will talk about you and then look at you, making it fully aware that they're talking about you. You have no idea what they're saying though, so it's irrelevant really. Intrigued, I guess, or curious, or I don't know. While I was there, I had an amazing time. There were some ups and downs, don't get me wrong, but that is the same with every holiday you go on. Every place you go to visit, there's ups and downs. But it was an experience, and it's something that I'd always wanted to do and go to and see. Even after all of this, I know being in quarantine is a bit of a nightmare at the moment, and I know it's all because of this virus that started there. But these things happen for a reason. On the plus side, the environment's clearing up, which it's needed to be done for a long time. Overall, it was an amazing holiday. It was such an experience and completely different to anything I would ever see at home. The food was incredible, the sights were amazing, and just the experience in general. I think if you want to do something different, you don't want to go on a typical beach holiday, something like that. It's just nice to see like a completely different area, completely different region of the world. I'm glad I went when I did. I really did enjoy my time there. I think I'd probably try and learn some Chinese though before I did go. I think it would be very useful. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really do appreciate you watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. I know the world is crazy right now. It is for every single person. We're at home all day, every day with each other, driving each other absolutely mental. So this is our little break, getting on YouTube and going into the rabbit hole. So please give this video a thumbs up. Stay positive, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye for now.